Thanks, Daniel. Overnight, the Senate voted to pass a $70 billion bill to fund immigration enforcement agencies for the next 3 years. Alaska's Lisa Murkowski was the only Republican to vote with Democrats against the bill. It's a big win for President Donald Trump, not only for what's in it, but for what's not in it. Natalie Brand has more.
After a marathon 18 hours of votes, Senate Republicans passed their long-awaited immigration enforcement bill early Friday morning.
The yeas are 52, the nays are 47. This bill, as amended, is passed.
The roughly $70 billion package funds ICE and Border Patrol through the end of the Trump administration. The delay in voting for the reconciliation package came after a Republican revolt over a controversial DOJ fund to compensate people claiming to have been unfairly prosecuted by the previous administration. But the acting attorney general said the fund is not moving forward. A majority of Republicans successfully defeated multiple efforts on the floor to block the fund permanently.
Does anyone here believe this slush fund is a good idea?
Does anybody think it's a good idea to fund ICE? Anyone?
Great idea.
Do you think it's a good idea to fund our Border Patrol? Yes. Do you think it's a good idea to fund federal law enforcement? Yes. Let's do it.
The reconciliation bill also dropped security funding related to the president's White House ballroom construction.
Republicans stripped the funding from the bill earlier this week, but 6 GOP senators joined Democrats on an amendment that would have given Congress sole authority to authorize construction of the ballroom, but still failed to get the votes needed to pass.
We think it's a terrible idea to overshadow the White House with a monument appropriate to Louis XIV. But that's not the point right now. The point is there is no congressional authorization.
A judge ruled in March President Trump had overstepped his authority. The president slammed the ruling, saying the ballroom is needed for national security. An appeals court will hear arguments today. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
First responders in Crawford County are working to provide support for Deputy Robin Gaines. Gaines was burned while attempting to rescue a woman from a house fire in Dyer this week. 3 people were able to escape the home on their own, but unfortunately the woman died. Deputy Gaines had multiple degrees of burns. His friend, Devin Lee Milliken, is now helping organize an online fundraiser to support his ongoing recovery. She says Gaines' actions are another example of the selflessness he's shown throughout his career.
I was not surprised at all. Honestly, if somebody would ask me blindly, which officer do you think would have done this? My first answer would have always been Officer Gaines. He's just that type of person. And he knew going into that situation what he was putting on the line.
Milken is also planning a community softball fundraiser in the coming weeks to support Gaines and his family. Now to an update on a story that made national headlines. Murder charges have been dropped for the Republican candidate running to be the sheriff of Lonoke County. Aaron Spencer was charged for killing the man accused of sexually abusing his daughter. Thursday, a Lonoke County judge dismissed the case, citing missing and manipulated evidence. The judge went on to say the case gave, quote, the appearance of a cover-up by law enforcement. The dismissal of the case means Spencer is eligible to become the county's sheriff. He defeated the current sheriff in the March primary to secure the Republican nomination. Fort Smith police say they've arrested a man following an investigation into multiple public indecency reports across the city. Colby Cole of Lavaca has been charged. He also faces harassment and criminal trespass charges. Police got multiple complaints saying Cole exposed himself and engaged in other unlawful conduct with several people at multiple locations. Cole was also arrested last summer for allegedly engaging in a sexual act in front of children at the Riverfront Park splash pad. A new proposed federal rule called Do Not Harm could put financial aid at risk for millions of students in career training programs. The Department of Education wants to compare the earnings of trade school graduates to those of high school graduates. Programs that do not meet the threshold could lose access to federal aid. Cosmetology schools are among those most at risk. Fort Smith salon owner Tara Harville says federal aid helped her attend cosmetology school and eventually build a business that now employs more than 50 people. While she is concerned for this change, she agrees that there is some room for improvement in the industry, including more financial education for students.
The data that the government is looking at is not fully accurate, and there can be a change, but I would love help from those people to be able to sit in those seats and be able to make those decisions and put those rules and regulations in place.
The proposal remains under review. The Department of Education will decide whether to move forward with it by the end of the month. After months of uncertainty, PBS programming is staying in Arkansas for now. Arkansas TV commissioners voting to reverse their previous decision to leave PBS after supporters raised more than $2 million to cover the network's membership dues. The vote comes after a months-long fundraising effort led by former First Ladies Barbara Pryor and Gay White. More than 1,500 households donated, with contributions coming from all 75 Arkansas counties. Thursday's vote also scrapped plans to rebrand the network as Arkansas TV.
We were very fortunate and grateful for everybody's help. We didn't do it ourselves. Everybody came together.
Pryor says the effort raised enough money to cover PBS dues for the upcoming year. She tells 5 News many donors have also committed to help cover the next 2 years. Well, Hot Springs is in the middle of a busy summer stretch right now, with downtown crowds and tourists filling the area. But police are warning this today about a nationwide social media trend that they say can spiral fast, called teen takeovers. The term teen takeover refers to large online organized gatherings of young people in public places, a trend that Hot Springs police say is showing up across the country. Police Chief Chris Chapman says while some see it as social hangouts, officials are concerned about what can happen when large crowds suddenly form and become hard to control during peak tourism season.
Where literally hundreds, sometimes thousands will gather, take over parking lots, parking decks, intersections. We've seen street racing, burnouts, fights.
The department has now issued a public warning after learning of these events and says it's stepping up patrols and monitoring social media to prevent gatherings before they begin. Officials are also urging parents to stay aware of their children's activity as summer crowds continue downtown and across the state. Well, new at noon in just the last hour, the Chicago Bears from Illinois will soon be from Indiana. The CEO posting this statement to social media today, confirming that this team will move to a new stadium in Hammond, Indiana. It's just under 40 minutes from Chicago. In his statement, the CEO says he expects this move will bring Chicagoland together.